I think it really depends on the specific investor and what their profile is and what they're looking for. So if it's a core investor, I know that PropertyEU is going to Warsaw this afternoon, and you're doing a similar thing there on Central and Eastern Europe. And I think if you compare, say, Central and Eastern Europe to the Nordics, the big difference that we have here in all of the countries is very, very strong local pension funds. And of course, in Central and Eastern Europe, you don't have that same kind of makeup. I think if you look outside at the buildings that are around here, we're sitting in the CBD of Stockholm today in the Catella office, and a lot of these buildings have been held very long term by Swedish pension funds, and it's been very difficult. In fact, if we talk to Arvid, there's been next to no transactions in the city centre on core office. So that dynamic of the very strong local pension funds, well capitalised, owning real estate, means that the bond type structure of real estate ownership has made it very difficult for foreigners to come in. I think when it comes to the more value-add and opportunistic space, we've definitely seen a lot of foreigners come in. Today we are closing in Denmark, the largest transaction in Denmark this year, and that's foreign capital that's coming in, and that's in the residential sector. So each of the different markets are very different, but I would say if you look at Denmark, we've probably had more activity from the foreign perspective there than we have for a long time, and that's largely due to the fact that there's been a lot of restructurings, a lot of recapitalizations that have been required. So you've been able to see a lot of the US private equity groups going in there. There's also been a lot more activity than we've seen in many months in Norway, and there's been a number of very large transactions that are going on there. The Norwegian market offers, we've just seen Tristan go in there and do a couple of €100 million deal. The Norwegian market does have some issues which we'll probably come on to shortly with respect to what's happening with the oil prices, etc. In Finland, I have my learned colleague here from our Finnish office, and of course, you know, a little bit like asking where should investors be. I'll harp back to the point that each investor has its different requirements, and we have been seeing Swedish listed firms, for example, doing a lot more, whether it's Hemfoss or NREP or whether it's Sagax, have been doing transactions this year in Finland. So Swedes see opportunity in Finland where others may see that it's not so good. We've seen US private equity. We're actually asset managing some money for US private equity in Finland, and so there are opportunities there, and it just depends again on your risk appetite and your profile. Where have I missed? Sweden, here we've seen this year very large deals. Catella acted on the buy side for some Danish pension funds on the largest ever pan-Nordic logistics core platform, which was around €700 million. So that was a very big transaction. We've seen Starwood come in, we've seen Blackstone come in. So there are foreigners coming in a big way, but on those pan-Nordic prospects, they're fairly large portfolio plays, and we've got some more going on at the moment. So there's definitely capital coming in, that's for sure.